What is good with y'all boys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to discuss why most rappers and entertainers are low-key living in scarcity because they never developed a body game mindset. I'm going to start here, right? Back in 2016, when the underground era of music on SoundCloud starting to blow up, being in Atlanta, niggas was hype, bro. Everybody wanted to be a rapper. Everybody wanted to start rapping. Everybody got themselves a SoundCloud link. Everybody started hitting the studio. Everybody started doing stunts, trying to get clout, trying to go viral on Instagram. Y'all was there. If y'all was seeing the wave, you know what the deal was. You had dudes like Lil Pump, Smoke Perp, XXXTentacion, all the dudes, bro. All the SoundCloud rappers. Shit was just going crazy, right? And then you got the chicks. The chicks was going for any dude that even resembled clout, right? Any dude that had a little bit of social media presence and had a following or was posted up with famous people, had pictures, females was going for that, right? Now, I had some friends and acquaintances that weren't on BodyGame back then. And because they weren't on BodyGame, I was kind of their proxy for them to get into like the cool events and shit, for them to be around females. Basically, these dudes were riding my coattails, right? Now, the common theme that I kept hearing echoing from them was, bro, we need you to blow up. Bro, you got to be next up. Bro, you need to do this. Bro, you need to do that. Bro, if you just did this, you'll be here, blah, 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 blah. Me, nigga, I was never in a rush to blow up or go anywhere. I just move at my own pace. Like, these dudes needed me to blow up so that they could get box off of my name, right? And looking back, I realized when I was listening to an academic clip the other day that a lot of dudes, even after they get the fame and all of that shit, they're still in scarcity, right? A lot of dudes don't go through that area in their life of solitude when they really lock in and learn how to enjoy their own company. And because of that, they never eliminate that scarcity mindset completely, right? If you ask me, the optimal process is you're growing up. By default, you're not on BodyGame. You probably talk to a couple of chicks. You strike out. You strike out enough times to where it's like, you know, it's time for me to self-reflect. You start self-reflecting. You realize you need to work on yourself. You stop chasing chicks. You stop chasing relationships. You said, all right, it's time for me to grind. You start hitting the gym. You start locking in. You start watching your nutrition. You start taking yourself serious. You start having respect for yourself. You spend a couple of years or some time in solitude. You learn to enjoy your own company. Then you come out on the other side of the tunnel. You're your final form, and you're taking no bullshit from anybody, right? That's the optimal process if you ask me. However, these dudes, they don't get on BodyGame. They maybe strike it rich. They get lucky. They get all this fame, all this clout, all these females, and then they get taken for a ride because they never got to the point where they stop accepting disrespect. They never developed the BodyGame mindset where they just put in the hard work repetitively over and over, consistently, time and time again, and they basically never hardened themselves to a point where they become a diamond, right? Everything got handed to them. They got lucky, and that's why dudes end up falling off, right? Look at Ugly God. I don't think Ugly God was ever on BodyGame, right? That nigga blew up. That nigga got himself a Hispanic baddie, and that nigga vanished off the face of the earth. He popped back up on some weapons charges and stuff. I don't really know how that shit went. Bro might have caught a body. I ain't been keeping up with his case, but despite blowing up with all of the greats from the SoundCloud rap era, Ugly God is the definition of one of the dudes that got famous to get the bitch and disappeared, right? Bro didn't hit the gym and lock in and was like, you know what? I'm going to max out my stats, and then I'm going to go see if I can go pull a baddie. Bro blew up, got famous, got all the clout and everything that come with it, got a bitch, and disappeared off the face of the map, right? Now, like I said, I was watching a DJ Academics clip, and when I heard this, it really made me look back and reflect and be like, yo, this is actually shit that was going on, right? He was talking about Lil Baby. He calls him Le Bebe. And basically, there was an audio recording or a video recording of some chick Lil Baby was basically trying to pay Box for, right? He's trying to pay for Box, and she got him on the recording, and basically bro was saying, you didn't send the pictures or the videos yet, right? Now, in the comment section, they was roasting Lil Baby. they was basically saying, bro is paying for the same box as his fans, right? You would think that a dude with status like Lil Baby will be taking no nonsense and dealing with higher quality chicks. Absolutely not. Dudes did not go through the body game journey. They never developed the body game mindset. Now they out here getting finessed by OnlyFans models who are probably bringing in less than $200 a month off of their page, right? Now, people that obtain stuff without putting in the hard work and dedication usually end up getting taken advantage for, or they let themselves go, right? Like I said it before, I see it all the time in corporate. Dudes land themselves a nice job, they get comfortable, and they just sit on their ass. They get fatter and fatter and fatter over the years. Now their wife don't want to give them no cheeks, right? Dudes get into the industry, they never went through the self-improvement journey. They just got shit handed to them. They never developed a body game mindset, and now they're in a position where they're getting dragged around by chicks that they don't even really like that much because they like what they see. They get into a relationship or start dealing with the chick. She starts ruining their reputation, and now they're crashing out. Now they're down bad, right? It even happens to some athletes, right? Some athletes only got in shape or went to the gym because they were being instructed to coach to 100% of the way, right? They never got up one day and was like, you know what, I'm being taken for a joke. Let me go and put the dedication in myself. They didn't have nobody giving them the boot. I don't have no one giving me the boot. When I go to the gym, it ain't nobody in my ear saying, bro, you need to go work out, you need to go do this, you need to go that. I just know what I need to do or what needs to be done, right? A lot of these dudes never got to that point. There was someone holding their hand the whole way. So when they finally get that contract, they finally get that deal, they never develop the independence and the authoritism of themselves to decide, you know what? I need to do this for myself. I need to spend time in solitude. I need to understand myself. I need to get on body game for real. As a result, you got these chicks popping up, showing around, bringing these guys through the ringer, right? And at the end of the day, I'm always going to say it ain't that deep, and it is what it is, right? People come into success in different modes. Everyone's path is different, but at the same time, you can easily spot when someone isn't on body game, and you can see the results, right? A lot of these rappers, skinny bird chest, smoking them joints, Zaza it up, pouring up, just whatever. Chicks is going. At the end of the day, they said the end justifies the means. If they get the box, they get the box. But if you ask me, the time and effort that you put into body game will always be worth the results that you get at the end of the tunnel, right? It's a self-improvement journey. Everything that you learn along the way can be applied in the future and be expounded upon at the end of the tunnel. The dudes that gained everything, success, everything came quick to them, they didn't necessarily learn anything throughout the process. They probably made more mistakes than they made successful decisions. And if they didn't have a mentor, it's even worse. And at the end of the tunnel, if they lose everything, they don't really have shit to show for it, right? You hear about dudes blowing up, having all the success, having all these chicks, and then they just fall off, right? We've seen so many rappers, mostly rappers over the years, blow up, success, go crazy, go on insane runs. And now no one even remembers their name, right? Spotify listeners dropped. They're not consistent. Whatever it is, what it is. Like, hearing that Lil Baby was out here paying for box, I was like, you know what? I have to make a video on this because there's a lot of dudes that seem to think, oh man, if I could just blow up and get rich and famous and successful. They said more money, more problems. And if you ain't went through the journey to acquire the mindset that you're going to need to handle those issues, you're going to be screwed. You would have been better off not getting all of that shit to begin with because you're going to be in a worse position than you were before than when you started off, right? It's sad, but like I said, everybody can't be winners. Everybody can't be on body game. Everything is a season. People are up, some people are down. But if you ask me, this shit is not a sprint. It's a marathon. Lock in, do the work, and get the results. Ain't shit happening overnight. Anything that is good takes time and effort to gain. So that's it for the video. I ain't got to drag this shit out. Y'all boys stay locked in, and I'm out of here. Peace.